My name is Adrian Nunez. I'm a survivor of a racist police brutality that happened August the 6th of 1995 in the city of Bell, California by the Bell Police. Today's date is August the 7th of 2020. Yes, this happened 25 years ago, and it happened about 3 years after the Rodney King beating. The reason why I decided to do this video is because these racist cops, they do not deserve for me to keep staying quiet any longer. In 2016, I went to get a copy of the report to the police station or to the court, and I was told that the report or the case has been destroyed. The good thing is that I do have a copy of the report. On August the 5th of 1995, on a Saturday, we had celebrated my aunt's wedding, and this was at it used to be called the Alpha Hall on Gage Avenue in the city of Bell, California. Now it's called the Fiesta Mexicana Hall, and we partied that day with live music. We had a grupo norteño. My family, we are Mexicans, and so everything was good that day on a Saturday. We partied with family. Everything was normal, and then when the party was over, I never expected what was going to happen. If I would have known, I would have stayed home, because I never saw it coming. And this was around 1:30 a.m. That's when this racist cop showed up. And according to the report, the first cop who showed up, his name was David Reed. And back then he was around 48 years old. Right now he's about 73 years old. I assume that he is retired. I was 22 years old back then, and I had an associate's degree from a trade school. My job back then, I was a technician for the live scan, which I was repairing fingerprinting equipment for a law enforcement company. So it only makes sense that I was the last person on this planet who wanted any trouble or problems with the police, since I was working in the law enforcement field. And I always used to think that just be good and behave, and I used to think that these things, they do not happen to good people. I used to think that they only happen to bad people, but I'm a witness that these things also happen to good people, because I am a good person. And when David Reed showed up, he showed up with so much hate, with so much anger. Back then, I never knew why he showed up and why he was there in the first place. But according to the report, extra patrol was in the area due to a large family party. Now, this explains why he was there in the first place. Most likely he didn't. He knew he was going to, or he was trying to catch maybe drunk drivers, especially if it was from a different culture. And I'm sure he knew that the party was from a different culture or nationality. And in the report, it does say that extra patrol was in the area due to a large family party, which extra patrol was not needed for the reason that the police station from Bell is only about 2 streets or 2 blocks away from where this party took place, or from this hall. So this does not make sense that extra patrol was in the area due to a large family party when they are only 2 streets away. The police station is only 2 streets away. But again, this explains why they were there, why he was there with so much hate. Um, he he approached me, like if he knew me from before, like if I had done something to him, and with so much hate, with so much anger, so much violence, he asked me for an ID. I asked what did I do wrong, and he never gave me an answer. Honestly, I was expecting an answer. I thought he would be able to communicate, but he felt like he didn't have to give me an answer. The second time he asked me for an ID, again with very bad attitude, with so much hate, cursing, saying bad words, and again I replied, "What did I do wrong?" the second time, and again he never gave me an answer. Instead, he took it into violence. He escalated something that was so minor. He escalated, and he made something that was nothing. He made it a big something. Again, he escalated the situation, and he got me from my back, and he tried to throw me to the ground, and he threw me against my car that was there in front of the hall. And at this time, I didn't know. I was never expecting like something like this to happen, especially to me, out of all the people in the world. And when backup got there, when David Reed knew that backup was there, that's when he took his first punch, and he socked me on my cheek. At this point, I was very mad. I was getting very mad, and backup got there. They were Hispanics who I thought they were going to calm David Reed or to stop him, and instead they decided to join him also and to beat me up. The names that I have of the Hispanic cops are Miranda, Espejo, Rodriguez, and Chavez. Shame on you, because you did nothing to stop these 2 white racist cops from beating me up. Instead, you decided to join them in beating me up. I'm sure that around 1:30 a.m. you had nothing better to do, and for them it was just more fun to beat me up. I have on the report there's at least 7 names of cops, and there was no need for all this violence, since all they had to do was handcuff me, but to them it was just more fun to beat me up, since around that time they had nothing better to do. At the entrance of the hall, that's where this happened, and they picked like the perfect place, the time, and the situation here, where at the entrance of the hall it was dark because they had already turned some lights off from the hall, so it was kind of dark, and the cars that drive on Gage, they couldn't see what was happening because this was at the entrance. So when a car is going by, they really can't see what's going on, and this is why they took advantage of the location and the time, that it was dark, to beat me up. And when they were beating me up, there was this black cop that was there. His name on the report, I think, and I'm not sure, I think it's Finkelstein. And this black cop, the only black cop that was there, he was the only one who didn't hit me or beat me up. And I would like to personally thank him one day for that, for not hitting me or beating me up. And maybe one day he can testify as to what he saw that night, because I think that he is a good cop, because he didn't hit me, or beat me up. And again, I think the black cop's name is Finkelstein, but I'm not sure. And on the report, it shows that witness number 1, his name is James Pate Jr. He was a security guard at the Alpha Hall, and right now he's about 71 years old. On the report, it says that 3 people were arrested by security during the party, which this is a lie, because no one was arrested during the party. And James Pate Jr., he can hopefully one day he can testify to this, and he can testify as to what he saw that night, since he is witness number 1, which he was a security guard at the Alpha Hall. Again, right now he's about 71 years old. When they were beating me up, this white cop by the name of, according to the report, his name is James Corcoran. He gave me an uppercut, and he gave me an uppercut with so much force, with so much hate, with so much anger. And this uppercut, it was not only with the intention to knock me out, but he had the intention to kill me with one punch. That's how hard he hit me. He hit me on my jaw like this, and my head went back. It went back, and it busted my lip. My teeth were bleeding, and my lip, it got swollen. I took pictures the following day, and at the police station, in the report, it says that they took 4 pictures also after the beating, and I have never seen these 4 pictures. I don't know if they took video from body cameras, and even if there was video, again, I was told that the report or the case has been destroyed. So even if there was video, I'm sure they destroyed all the evidence. When he gave me this uppercut, as you can see, my mouth, it is not straight. When I talk, you can notice that my mouth is not straight. That's how hard he hit me with this uppercut, and he hit me on my jaw. He moved my jaw, he moved my mouth. That's how hard that punch was. Again, with all the intention to not only knock me out, but to kill me with one punch. That's how hard he hit me. James Corcoran, he back then he was 42 years old. Right now he's about 67 years old, and from what I know, he is he's still working at the Bell Police, and he has not retired yet. And this is really bad because if he hasn't done something bad to people, he will do it. I'm sure he has done this to other people since he is a bad person and he has so much hate. Um, him and David Reed. At this point, I was very very mad after the uppercut. I was very very angry. I couldn't defend myself. I couldn't raise my arm. If I would have tried to hit them or punch them, then they would have killed me on the spot, since they were looking for any chance or any opportunity to kill me, since they they didn't like me since the beginning. They had so much hate, um, and again they were looking for any chance to kill me. If I would have raised my arm, I'm sure they would have shot and killed me on the spot. And my family was yelling at them for them to stop beating me up, for them to stop hitting me, and they had their weapons pointing at my family. They had their guns pointing at my family, like if my family were some kind of criminals, which we are not criminals. My family and we are not criminals, and we are humans. And then my mom, she was the one that got the closest, and they told her if you take one more step, they told her that they were going to shoot her. And I mean, this lady, she was witnessing that her son was being beat up for no reason. What else did they expect from this person if it was her son, the one that was being beat up? I was yelling at my mom for her to back up, for her to back out, and I was yelling at her to back up. I really thought that they were going to shoot her, and if they would have shot her, then most likely they would have shot and killed me too, because I would have gone crazy. And who knows, maybe they would have shot and killed another family member, and we could have lost 2 or 3 family members. And not for what? For what reason? Just because there was so much hate and anger, and this started out of nothing. Well, it did start out of hate and racism, but it was that's the reason why this started. And again, we could have lost 3 family members due to hate and racism. And if you're watching this, cameras, they're your best weapons. Always be ready to record. And even if you have never been pulled over by police, never trust them, because they are looking for a chance or an opportunity to beat up people and to hurt people, and even to kill people of color or minorities. And I witnessed it that night, 25 years ago, that some of these cops, they have so much hate. No one told me. I witnessed it myself 25 years ago. So back then we didn't have cameras. We were maybe lucky if we had a cell phone. So cell phones then, we didn't have cameras. We were just coming out of the pagers, the beepers, and cell phones. We didn't have cameras on cell phones. And the other people who could have recorded this were the people who were recording the party, but they had already left. They left at 12. And again, always be ready to record. This is your best weapon. And now we have cameras, so always be ready to record. Never trust them, because what I saw 25 years ago, they have so much hate and racism, and they will beat up people any chance that they get. And not only beat up people, but even shoot and kill people if they can. On the report, it says that it was James Corcoran who he put me on a carotid hold, and he was choking me. On the report, they wrote a carotid hold to cover themselves, to make it seem like they follow procedure or protocol, and this was not a carotid hold. This was a straight choke. When I was watching the George Floyd, it hit me hard because as he was saying that he couldn't breathe, it brought me flashbacks. It brought me back 25 years ago when I was being choked. According to the report, again, it was James Corcoran who choked me, and he had I still remember seeing his teeth, like when a dog is very, very angry and the dog wants to bite you. I still remember his teeth. That means we were face to face. And again, that is not what a carotid hold is. And again, they use a carotid hold to cover themselves. He was choking me with two hands. He had two hands on my neck. He had so much force, so much pressure on my neck. His two hands were shaking. Throughout the years, through these 25 years, I still remember that, and this has been so much trauma. When his hands were shaking, and he wanted to pop my vein or my nerve. That's how hard he was choking me. Again, he had so much force. And again, this is according to the report. This is James Corcoran who choked me with all the bad intentions. And I confess, he had the intention to kill me. As I'm watching George Floyd, and when George Floyd he passed away, this brought tears to my eyes, because 25 years ago, when I was being choked, I was asking God for help, because I couldn't defend myself, and my family, they couldn't defend me either. So I did ask God for help, and I didn't know if I was going to live or if I was going to die. And as as George Floyd, he passed away. 25 years ago, I passed out from being choked. Again, I never knew if I was going to live, but God decided to keep me here and give me another chance to live. Um, and to all of you attorneys who are watching, on the report, it does not say that I passed out. Again, I repeat, on the report, they did not write that I passed out. That tells you that they were covering this, that I passed out, and I think that should have been on the report. And again, to the attorneys who are watching, they did not write on the report that I passed out. And so again, God decided to give me a chance to live. There was no guarantee that I was going to come back to life. Again, James Corcoran, according to the report, he was the one who choked me, and he had all the bad intentions to kill me. I confess he had the intention to kill me that night, and God decided to give me another chance. This has caused so much trauma because at night when I'm trying to sleep, it would be 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, and I still cannot fall asleep due to all the trauma that I see when I'm trying to fall asleep. Especially the teeth, his teeth, and his hands when I was being choked. Those things I just cannot forget. Throughout these 25 years, these are things that you just don't forget. It had caused me breathing problems. Just like George Floyd couldn't breathe, I haven't been able to breathe good for 25 years. And I never knew it was going to cause this from being choked. And it started from a breathing problem, and slowly I have been dying. Late last year in 2019, I was at the hospital for breathing problems and heart problems, which breathing problems have led to heart problems, and all because of a choke that I was choked 25 years ago. Again, this year in February of 2020, I was at the hospital for breathing and for heart problems. And again, like they say, I wish I knew then what I know now. I never expected, I never thought that it was going to cause these problems from being choked. And also, I have not been able to sleep what they call face down or on your stomach. I remember that I would really get some rest when I would sleep face down or on my stomach. It just felt like you would really rest at night. I really missed that because for the last 25 years I have only been able to sleep on my back. Now imagine that. Imagine if you couldn't sleep on face down or on your stomach, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to sleep that way ever again, since I have only been able to sleep on my back for the last 25 years due to the breathing problem. And to all of you law changers and you lawmakers, you need to put a stop to escalation. They shouldn't be allowed to be escalating um, any situation which out of nothing they make it so big, and this needs to stop. Also, they need to be de-escalating situations instead of making them big. They should be de-escalating instead of escalating um, any small or any situation. Also, excessive force needs to stop because because they should not have the right to beat up people or to punch people just because they feel like it or because they have a badge. Um, the law, it also applies to them, and parents do not have the right to beat up their children. So, so what gives cops the right to beat up people or to punch people just because they feel like it? Any parent would go to jail if they beat up their children. So again, what gives police the right to beat up people? Um, Also, they shouldn't have the right to be pointing guns at people. Um, no one has the right to be pointing guns at people. I don't have the right, um, and neither does anyone else have the right to be pointing guns at people. Now, what gives them the right to be pointing guns at people? Um, Only cowards with weapons do that, and anybody can be a coward with a weapon. I repeat, anyone can be a coward with a weapon. So this needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. Since they pointed guns at my family, like if we are criminals, like if my family are criminals, and guns, they are not toys for them to be pointing guns like if they were toys. Also, all chokeholds have to be banned. They use the carotid hold as an excuse to kill people, to choke people, and to kill them. This is the reason why all chokeholds have to be banned, and no one is guaranteed to live after being choked. There was no guarantee that I was going to live. I could have died that night. There was no guarantee that I was going to come back to life. So all chokeholds have to be banned. Um, the statute of limitations, that has to change, because just the same way that sexual harassment limitations change, I should be able to accuse a cop of what they did, even if they did this many years ago. So the statute of limitations, that has to change. Also, defunding the police, it has to be defunded for the reason that these cops, they showed up with so much hate. They had nothing better to do that night at around 1:30 a.m. This is why the police has to be defunded, because at that time they were looking for trouble, and I was jumped by the biggest gang there is, which is the police gang, and I couldn't defend myself. And never in my life had I been jumped by a gang. I repeat, never in my life had I been jumped by a gang until that night when I was jumped by the police gang, which they are the biggest gang there is. And the bad part about it is that you cannot defend yourself. So police needs to be defunded because most of them are just looking for trouble, and they do not deserve um, to be in that field, and that's why police needs to be defunded. Um, Also, what gives them the right to destroy my case? They shouldn't have the right to destroy my case or any other case, um, only because the report or the evidence wasn't to their convenience or on their side. So they shouldn't have the right to destroy or delete any cases. Um, Also, they shouldn't have the right to falsify reports. That is obstruction of justice, and obstruction of justice, that's a crime. So they shouldn't have the right to falsify a report, and that needs to stop. Also, any attorney should have the right to look up their records, police records, to see if they have been accused of racism and police brutality. These records should be made public because attorneys or anyone should know if they have been accused, and they need to stop hiding these records and getting away with hiding the records. Again, they should be made public. Um, and we need a police reform. We need it. We need it now because police, when they pull over people, they have the worst attitude. They treat people like if everyone is a criminal, and that needs to be stopped because they are not getting the training where they should treat people with respect, and that is very, very wrong. Um, they don't care to be respected, and they don't care to respect others. Um, Again, this is very, very wrong, that they are getting this kind of training, and they need to be trained so that they can learn how to respect people. When I go to Starbucks, everyone always treats me with so much respect, and I enjoy just going there, to anyone and everyone likes to be treated with respect, and it seems like this is part of the police training where they are told not to treat people with respect, and this is very, very wrong because they don't respect people no matter who you are, no matter what kind of job you do, and this is very, very wrong again because I'm sure some of you can relate, and some of you have been treated wrong when you are pulled over, and again, this is very wrong because they should learn how to treat people with respect, and again, they don't care to if people do not respect them, and that is also very wrong. And I demand that someone looks into the police of Bell and investigates these two white racist cops who beat me up. I demand that they look at their history because I'm sure that they have also beat up other people, and from what I know, the Bell Police does not belong to the LAPD, even though they are in LA County, but they do not belong to to the LAPD. From what I know, they are an independent police station. So my question is, who is keeping them accountable? Because they are an independent police station? Or does that mean that they get to get away with beating up people and hurting people, and no one keeps them accountable because they are an independent police station? I demand that someone looks into their history and brings them and makes them accountable, because I know that not only that they beat me up, but I'm sure they have also beat other people from the city of Bell. Bell has a population, from what I know, of about 90% who are Hispanics, and these two white cops, they are racist. So I'm sure they have beat up other people from the city of Bell. On the report, James Corcoran appears as victim number 1, and David Reed appears as victim number 2. Two white racist cops who almost killed me that night, and they appear as victims on this report, when again they almost killed me that night. So if you are a Hispanic and you are and you have been a victim of David Reed and James Corcoran, send me a message or file a complaint at the police station. This is the least that you can do, and I didn't know that I could file a complaint until recently. Throughout these 25 years, I never knew, and again, like they say, I wish I knew then what I know now. And I filed the complaint. This was on June the 8th of 2020. I was interviewed by the investigator 2 weeks after, and since then I haven't heard anything yet. Also, the FBI is aware of this. They're aware of what happened that night, but I haven't heard back from them either. But again, the FBI is aware of what happened that night. So if you've been a victim of racism and police brutality, even if it was with another city or a state, the least that you can do is file a complaint, and file it now, because we need to put a stop to all of these bad cops who are on the streets, and again, I'm sure they have done this to other people, since Bell has a population of 90% who are Hispanics. Si tú has sido una víctima de racismo y te han golpeado los policías de la ciudad de Bell, pon una queja en la estación de policía, una queja que es un complaint, porque necesitamos parar de que sigan haciendo esto, si no lo van a seguir haciendo, y así como a mí me golpearon, yo sé que hay más víctimas que fueron golpeados también en la ciudad de Bell, porque Bell tiene una population que son 90% son hispanos en la ciudad de Bell. Entonces yo estoy seguro que estos dos policías blancos que son racistas, yo sé que también han golpeado a otros hispanos. Así es que necesitamos hablar, porque no podemos quedarnos callados más. Yo soy culpable también por quedarme callado por 25 años, pero yo no puedo seguir callado yo no me puedo quedar callado más tiempo. Yo sé que no solo los morenos son víctimas de racismo y de que los ha golpeado la policía. Yo sé que también los hispanos, no más que nosotros siempre nos quedamos callados y eso está mal porque necesitamos hablar, porque necesitamos hacer justicia y necesitamos sacar a todos estos policías que son racistas y malos y tienen mucho odio contra los hispanos. Así es que pon una queja o mándame un mensaje porque necesitamos hacer justicia. Again, if you've been a victim, file a complaint and file it with the police station. Even if it happened in another city or state, this is the least that you can do. File a complaint so that all these bad racist cops that have so much hate can be taken out of the streets. And together we can put a stop to this. I'm guilty of staying quiet for 25 years, and I can no longer stay quiet because they do not deserve for me or for us to keep staying quiet. On November the 3rd, go ahead and vote. If you don't know if you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, it's very easy. If you support racism, then you're a Republican. If you do not support racism, then you're a Democrat. There is nothing in between. Again, there is nothing in between, and I assume that not every Republican is a racist. So on November the 3rd, go ahead and vote because you do know that Republicans, they support police and they support police brutality, and I'm sure they also enjoy when police is beating up people of color and minorities. So go ahead and vote because Republicans, they support police brutality, and again they enjoy when they beat up people of color or minorities. Also, if you're an Asian or a Muslim and you have been a victim of racism or discrimination or police brutality, speak up, speak out, file a complaint. Also to the black people, if you still haven't done it, go ahead and file a complaint. I'm sure there's more people who are victims of police brutality. So the least again that you can do is file a complaint, so that these bad cops can be taken out of the streets, or else they're gonna keep doing it. And the sad part is that not only that they keep doing it, but they keep getting away with it. So on November the 3rd, go ahead and vote. Don't forget to vote and vote for Democrats if you want to see the change. When I was at the police station, yes, I was searched, and most likely they were looking for drugs, which they didn't find any, and the reason why they didn't find any is because I have never done drugs in my life. But police, they assume that every Mexican at a Mexican party is going to be doing drugs, and they were wrong because again they didn't find any drugs on me, and that's because I have never done drugs in my life. At the police station, this racist cop, he told me that he would give me the rematch, and his words were that he would give me the rematch anytime. And this here is my rematch. He never thought that this would be on video many years after, since back then we didn't have cameras. So he never thought this would be on video. And I'm sure you're not going to share this video because there is no video of when I was being choked. There is no video, but let me tell you, it was bad. It was really ugly. Not only was it ugly, but this beating, it was sad. It was also sad, just like George Floyd, because I didn't know if I was going to live or if I was going to die that night. Again, you're not going to share this because there is no video of when I was choked, of when I was beat up. But again, it was really bad. It was so bad that it was one of the worst beatings that I have seen, even from what I have seen on TV or on the news or on social media, and I witnessed it myself. Now if you believe me, then go ahead and share this video, because we need to put a stop to this. And I'm also a survivor. I'm a survivor of police brutality, that I could have died that night. Nothing guaranteed that I was going to live. Again, nothing guarantees that anyone will live from being choked. When people pass out, there is no guarantee that people are going to come back to life. And again, I experienced it, and this has caused so much trauma, and to the family, and to my mom, because when I talk to my mom and I ask her if she still remembers, she tells me that she doesn't want to talk about it because she still remembers, and she doesn't want to remember what she saw that night. And she is a witness, and she will testify of what happened that night. And again, this has caused so much trauma to me, to the family, to my mom. I mean, just picture your mom, being told that if she takes one more step, they're going to shoot her. I mean, just imagine that. My mom, she's the kind of person that she never drinks at the parties. So yes, she remembers what she saw that night, and I'm sure some of you, you can relate to the kind of mom that I have. If you have, this kind of mother, that again, she doesn't drink at the parties, and that's the kind of mom that I have. And again, just think about it. If someone told your mom if she took one more step that they are going to shoot her, and again, for what reason? For no reason at all, just because of hate and racism. That's how everything got started. And again, we could have lost like 3 family members, all due to hate and racism. And this needs to be stopped. And if you believe me, then go ahead and share this video, because we need to put a stop to this. Don't forget to vote on November the 3rd. And we need to put a stop to this and now, because enough is enough.